Right, Sunday, 4:30 p.m, Enzo Maresca's Chelsea will be giving a guard of honour to Arne Slot's Liverpool side at Stamford Bridge. And, off record, between me and you, I have had it confirmed that this guard of honour will be a trade-off, won't it?
So, guard of honour before the game, win for Chelsea after the game.
We give them the guard of honour.
Yeah.
They give us the 3 points.
I think that's fair.
Everyone's a winner.
Yeah.
Everyone's a winner.
I think that's deserved.
Yeah.
When was the last time Chelsea gave a guard of honour? I don't know the answer to this.
I don't know the answer to this. I don't feel
Man United?
like we have. See, that's my thing. That's my thing. Is I'm like, oh, is it Man United?
I think it probably would have been Man U.
No, because you got to remember, they don't give them a guard of honour every game. You just get the guard of honour in the first game after you win.
Yes.
It, yeah. So I don't feel like I can remember us giving a guard of honour in our lifetime. Now the comment section might now let me know that there's like 3 that I've forgotten or not mentioned here, and really I should have looked it up. Yeah. I can see you typing now. You're
I'm going to try and get it. I'm going to try and get it.
You are. But I don't feel like I've ever really remembered us giving a guard of honour in my lifetime. Now, obviously, avid watchers of the channel, aka the hardcore, will have watched my video last night, and they'll know that I was very happy with the result. You look surprised here. What you got? Hit me.
It's the first time that a guard of honour has been done in a Chelsea-Liverpool game since 2015, when it was the other way around.
What, and they gave us a guard of honour?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the question is, when did Chelsea give someone a guard of honour?
Exactly. I don't have the answer to that yet, so continue, please. And I'll find the answer out.
Never. Don't bother looking for the answer. The answer's never. Yeah, anyone that watched the video last night will know that I was very impressed by the performance. Very happy with your garden.
Yeah, lovely place.
Do you know?
It's very well manicured.
Well, you say that. You say that.
Yeah. You
say that. I honestly think my garden would have been a better surface for that, and I live in a flat.
Your penalty box is your living room. Yeah, or your bedroom.
Hold on, I was on about that garden. No, joking.
What, is it?
Don't
flat?
have one. Got
Is it flat?
Manscaped.
Yeah, good one. I've actually played on 4G pitches that are better quality than that. I'm not even lying now. That apparently even they hate their own grounds. You heard about that?
Yeah, they don't like it. Yeah.
You
know, I had some stick about my lack of banter or something like that in the comments, and I know you tell me don't read the comments, but sometimes every now and again I do.
Oh, I read them.
Some bloke went, oh yeah, because all your audience are 10 to 15-year-olds, and I thought, I wonder what like actual age range in that bracket I do have. What percent do you think are between the age of 11 to 16, which gives you statistics for?
2.
1%.
There you go.
1%.
Yeah.
And it's funny because never take comments to heart, but at the same time, I think there's about 100,000 people that do quite like it, isn't there?
Yeah, 114, I've heard.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
How do you know my channel better than me?
I mean, I'm the one having to talk to people about it.
Well, there you go. Yeah. Well, don't tell them 114 then. Tell them fucking 300 and... What is it overall?
What,
TikTok?
on all
tickers?
of your... Oh,
tickers?
You've got to count the tickers, of course.
I've got about a fucking 250,000 on the tickers.
I would say 500 then.
Yeah, well, we'll round it off at a cool 500. Yeah. But either way, listen, I've always said the same thing. If you don't like the channel, change it.
Change the channel. I would also say, though, caveat to this is, if you are 11 to 18, you're probably lying about your age, much like you used to do in your youth. So maybe there are some 11-year-olds that are in the 18 to 24-year-old category.
And the funny thing was I then said, ladies and gentlemen, and I said, well, actually, it's mostly gentlemen. I said, but there is a 0.3% female audience that watch this channel. Yes. And someone commented saying, no, that's just young lads on their mum's iPhone.
I rate that. Yeah. I feel like these comments have sussed your channel out, mate.
Yeah, I know. They've sussed me out very quickly.
What they don't know is on Joey and Josh, and if you aren't subscribed, please do go and subscribe to Joey and Josh. On that channel, it is now 35% female.
Really?
Yeah.
That's mad. That's
crazy.
Mad. And do you know what that means?
Go on.
Pound for pound, it's 50-50.
Explain that.
Because pound for pound, YouTube is predominantly more male.
Yes.
It's an app that is predominantly used more by males. I think I read a thing saying up to close to 70% of the users of YouTube are male rather than female. And if I think about it, like, my missus would never watch YouTube. Do you know what I mean? No.
Really? Can we go back to the game last night? I feel that you've been proven right. Do you want to know why? Because you were...
No, I just want you to leave it at that.
Okay.
People, we'll see you in the next one.
You were given a lot of stick for being the Chelsea positivity king, or the positivity czar, maybe we should say. Maybe you're toxic with how positive you are.
Positivity.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy seriously thinks we're going to win Conference League and finish in the Champions League spots. Yes, I do. I did back then, and I do now. And it always seems to fucking happen, doesn't it? I remember going into the, Euros, last Euros, we were sat around the kickoff table, and I went, I can't say England will definitely win it. I said, we'll be in the final, sort of thing. And everyone laughed.
Yeah.
Everyone laughed.
Yeah.
And they shouldn't have done, because it's like, you're only laughing because of Southgate. You're not laughing because of the squad.
No.
We got one of the most proven number 9s in world football. We've got one of the best young number 10s in world football. Yeah. We've got one of the best number 6s in world football. Defence a little bit leaky and a great goalkeeper for the national team.
I think Harry Maguire's proven everyone wrong, to be honest with you.
Harry Maguire,
mate, that run he made, the right wing was just insane.
Yeah,
it was ridiculous.
Ledge,
yes, I'd sign him. I'm not even joking. I would sign Harry Maguire. Happily.
I'd have Harry Maguire happily. Yeah,
I think him and Colwell would make a wonderful partnership.
Yeah, I'd love him. But either way, I remember saying, "Oh, England to be in the final." Everyone laughed. They're in the final. I said, right. When the slump really hit, you know, when it hit home and it was like, we're not getting this, yeah? So now we've got 4 games to go, right? There's been an international break. When we had 10 games to go, so obviously that wasn't 6 weeks ago. This was more like coming up 2 months ago now, isn't it? Like eight weeks ago or whatever. Things were looking bleak. We were falling like a stone. The wins we got weren't entertaining wins. They weren't looking good or whatever. And I said that a couple of wins, whether they're lucky, whether they're slim, whether they're undeserved, a couple of wins will get us over the line, because we're going to get 5th, right? And by the way, everyone's going, oh, well, yeah, but, you know, you're lucky because it's 5th. Well, you're not really lucky, because if you do your research, right, the coefficients just come in, in the last, 2 years?
Yes.
Yeah?
Technically. There's been some form of it beforehand, but yeah.
Okay, but for Premier League clubs, the last 2 years, the coefficients kind of come in, and one of the seasons, the first season that it came in, us, as in England, the nation, and the Premier League, didn't qualify for the coefficient because we didn't do well enough in knockout stages of
European, in the top 2,
European football, yeah? Do you know that was one of only 2 times in the past, I think it was 15 years, that we wouldn't have qualified? So basically, you'd have got this 5th every season. Next season, 5th will get you Champions League spots. Basically, what I'm saying is top 5 in England now get you Champions League. That's how it is now. That's what it is, right? So it's not luck. It's just the goalposts have been moved, as they have in many, aspects of football. And I always said that I think we get Champions League and I think we'll win the Conference League. And am I any less confident of that now? No, I'm more confident of it. And can I tell you another thing I'm confident of? I am confident that this Sunday we at least draw with Liverpool. We're not getting beat in this match. We're not getting beat.
What are you basing that on?
Vibes.
What is your confidence? No, come on.
Maresca.
We can have a bit more than that.
The beard.
Whose beard?
Maresca's.
Okay.
He's grown a little beard.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Cucurella.
Yeah. Is that going to win us the game?
No. I'm basing it on this. I know they spanked us. What was it? 4-1 at Anfield.
When?
Last season under Pochettino.
can't remember.
It was, and their young lad who will step into Trent's shoes, Connor Bradley, had a great game. It was 4-1. But obviously the game before that was it a 2-2 draw on the opening day of the season, or was it a 1-1 draw?
This season?
No. The Pochettino season.
The Pochettino season was 1-1, I believe.
1-1, but it was 2-1 because Ben Chilwell scored the goal
yes.
that was unfairly disallowed. So we beat them 2-1 on the opening day of the season under Pochettino.
Yep.
Then we had an embarrassing loss at Anfield to them, and then we went, the best part of 118 minutes before finally succumbing to them in extra time. It might have been a little bit earlier than that. But either way, we went 90 minutes drawing with them in the cup final, right? And then you go back seasons upon seasons, even when Chelsea have been in decline under Todd Bowley, and we always seem to draw against Liverpool. So actually, the smart money would tell you that it's probably going to be a draw, right? Arne Slot interestingly said, and he said this even once Chelsea had started to decline a little, that the toughest opponents they faced this season are Chelsea. Do you think he'd still stand by that?
Would he say Arsenal now? And I mean that sincerely. Would he say Arsenal?
Would he? Arsenal didn't beat them, did they?
They didn't, but
I mean, Chelsea lost that match.
The Liverpool
against Liverpool, yeah, but we lost it in fucking good fashion.
Yeah, true, but it's still a loss.
Yeah, but
I don't think he would say Chelsea is still the toughest opponent. I think the only reason why he would say that is mind games before the game. I think they probably had tougher tests against Forest this season, Arsenal, even City.
Yeah, fair enough. But one thing I do know is the lads would have been celebrating. Yeah, they would have celebrated. Like, trust me, you would have done, right? And more often than not, there's a little bit of a, what's the word? Like when a balloon goes down.
Come down.
Not come down.
Deflated.
Deflate. There's a little bit of a deflated performance from newly crowned champions once they win the league.
Let me ask you this question. Would you rather play the champions at any other time than right now? Like, is there any other occasion, any other time in the entire season that you'd rather play this team now?
No, but maybe first day of the season.
We've seen that.
Anything can happen.
Anything could happen, but also, like, we didn't get the result on the Pochettino first game of the season, although we should have. I think the reason why I asked the question is, I think this is the best possible time you could play Liverpool in the entire season. Because like you said, they're on the piss up.
Yeah.
They've got nothing to play for now. They're so far clear. They've got nothing even to play for in terms of cups. Sometimes a team wants to carry on the momentum because they've got a Champions League final or something like that, or an FA Cup final. They've got nothing. Yeah. So,
and also,
season's done.
82 points. What's 4 times 3?
12.
12, which would take them to what? 82 had 12. 94. So they've got nothing to play for.
It's not you're saying, are they going for like a points record?
You can't even break your points record, let alone the points record.
No, they're nowhere near that.
You're nowhere near that. You've kind of got nothing to play for right now. So I do think it's a perfect time to play them. Not only that, I think that form's hitting. You can't deny it. You can't deny it. Oh, what? Because we lost to Legia Warsaw. Who cares? We're already fucking qualified. Like, I'm not being funny. You can't deny that at the minute, right, in the Premier League, as mad as it sounds to say, let's start from the back, right? All the way back. Who has been having good games of recent?
In our team?
All the way at the back, who's been having good games of recent? We've got to admit it.
Sanchez.
Robert Sanchez has been having good games of recent.
Is he going to play?
Yeah, definitely. 100%. Jorgensen only made like 2 saves.
No, he's he didn't go to Sweden, did he? Because he's got a slight injury. So
no need.
Fair enough.
Don't need to.
Fair enough. Sanchez has been playing well, especially with the saves.
Yeah, there you
go. Like feet, he's kind of the same, but the saves have been really good. He hasn't made any mistakes.
As many mistakes with the feet. No. He hasn't made as many mistakes.
No, but he doesn't look amazing.
No.
That's Robert Sanchez.
Obviously, I don't think he'll start, but Tostino Rabai, I think, he's been playing well. Trevor Chalobah
Trevor has been playing way better than Tosin.
Yeah. Of course, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think Tosin will start.
Yeah.
Trevor Chalobah been playing really well, right?
Yep.
Romeo Lavia back in the team. Now, whether he'll make our team or not, you'll find out in a minute because we are going to give our team. And by the way, I haven't even said, please subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Smash a like on the video right now. Romeo Lavia back in the team. Enzo Maresca seems to have worked out some sort of system, potentially, to have the three of them in the team, which is obviously Romeo Lavia, Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez. Enzo Fernandez absolutely making me eat my words when I suggested that maybe he wasn't as good as I thought he was going to be after that first sort of 6-month period. And I was basing that off his performances last season. Came in, first 6 months, played alongside Kovacic for a lot of it. At times, Mount was sort of in and out. There was some times when Kante came into the team and Enzo Fernandez looked a class above, not the guys I've just said, but a class above a lot of the team. This is when we were first bedding in Noddy Madueke, Mikhailo Mudryk, and some of the bigger name signings, and we still had the likes of, Sterling, Aubameyang, and whatnot, right? Then, this season, Enzo Fernandez has caught fire. Moises Caicedo has not had a bad game since his debut against West Ham.
I would say in his entire career.
Yeah. There you go, right? So then you look at that. And now we look to the front line. And we look at Cole Palmer, right? Last night we saw a little bit of link-up play between Cole Palmer and Nicholas Jackson. Okay? Cole Palmer didn't officially get the assist, but he was doing what he was doing there, right? So we look at Cole Palmer, and I think that Cole Palmer might be starting to, I don't want to say regain the confidence, because I don't think Cole Palmer's really a confidence-based player. Like, I actually think Cole Palmer's best when he's disinterested almost, right?
When he's got ice through the veins.
There you go.
Yeah,
you go. And I think when he's trying to try too hard, he actually over-facilitates. But I think that Cole Palmer's starting to click into place a little bit. I think that Pedro Neto is becoming someone who, yes, like, we know that he's a great attacking threat, and we know that he is probably the most misleading player when it comes to stats in the Premier League, in my opinion, in terms of, like, the things that I see him do. You know how I was about to say used to feel, you still probably do feel, but about Mikhailo Mudryk in terms of, like, the things you see Mikhailo Mudryk doing glimpses, you're like, wow, if you could do that consistently, you could be a world beater. But the problem is with Mikhailo Mudryk, sometimes it's not like once or twice a match you see that. Sometimes it's once or twice a month you see that, and he might play 6 matches in that time or come off the bench or whatnot. Pedro Neto, week in, week out, every time I see him play, does sound ridiculous. And I think he's really good. But in the way that we invert the right back now, I think that Pedro Neto has become so important because the ground that he covers, I've not got the statistics to hand, but I would imagine has got to be up there, right? With most ground covered by any of our players on the pitch. Got to be Conor Gallagher levels, I'm thinking, right? Then, Noni Madueke in form at the minute. Nicholas Jackson coming back, hitting form at the right time. Couple of goals now, and the one last night that he took on his left foot,
insane. It was just ridiculous.
No one's stopping that.
I didn't think he had that in his locker.
I didn't think he had much of a left foot game because, like, I'm not being funny, yeah? I know that the pressure's different when the quality is different of team, right? But think about that open goal he had against Man City, and he didn't hit it purely because
it was on his left.
It was on his left.
Yeah, so
Last
true.
night, he sweeps the ball onto his left and pings it into that top corner.
It's ridiculous.
Right? And then over on the other side, you got Jadon Sancho, who's probably going to be coming off the bench, but playing well, making an impact to games when he does come off the bench. I honestly don't feel like there is a better time.
But just quickly, do you need a little bit of grooming, TLC, ahead of a big summer? Beard looking a little bit ratty, or what about a shape up downstairs? My advice is to do what I do each and every time, which is look at my best. And by the way, this doesn't just happen by accident, because I am one of over 12 million men worldwide who use Manscaped. And you could be too by using my code Joey Knight, all one word. There's a link in the description, and that will get you 20% off your order and free shipping. Now, I've been getting quite a lot of compliments recently, and that is all thanks to the Beard and Balls bundle by Manscaped. And in that bundle, you have got the Beard Hedger, your go-to precise beard trimming tool. We've also got the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra, which is tasked with taking care of everything below the waist. Now let's get on to the Beard Hedger, which offers you customizable trimming with 20 different settings, so you can adjust your beard length with ease. And it's got skin-safe technology designed to minimize nicks and irritation around your face. But what about the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra? Well, that offers interchangeable foil and trimmer blades, ensuring a smooth and comfortable experience even in those sensitive areas. And with both of these bad boys, you get some serious long-lasting power. 60 minutes of runtime with the Beard Hedger and 75 minutes with the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. And not only that, both devices are waterproof, meaning that you can use them in the shower and clean them easily afterwards. And they've got a travel lock, meaning that you can use them comfortable and safely in transit, and it won't drain that battery. Manscaped offers a 30-day money-back guarantee so that you can try the Beard and Balls bundle completely risk-free. So join me in looking as fresh as you possibly can, and use my code JoeyKnight to get 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com. Just hit the link in the description and that will take you there. Thank you very much to Manscaped for sponsoring another video. Let's get back into it.
And yeah, people will go, oh, boring plays, sideways passes, you know, if you get there, you didn't deserve it and whatever. But it's just like, well, I don't know.
If we get, do you mean if we get Champions League, we don't
yeah.
deserve it? Mate, if we get Champions League, we have had a really good season. Like, if we do get it from the position that we were in, when we were quite far away and quite frankly, we had teams around us that were performing as well as they were, I think this ends up being a really good season. And by the way, you keep talking about fifth. It could be more than that.
Mate, we were a win.
Beat
We're a win and a
Newcastle.
couple of results off third.
Beat Newcastle and third or fourth is absolutely on.
Yeah.
Absolutely on.
Can I ask you a question, gut instinct? Does it go down to the final day of the season?
Yes. I think what it will be is that a draw on the final day will allow us to go into the Champions League.
Okay.
So I think that's the position that we'll be in.
Let me ask you another question.
Yeah.
At the moment, right, there are... Can we agree Man City are in the Champions League?
No.
We can't?
No. I disagree with you on the kickoff on that, and I don't think it's a guarantee, no.
So you think there's 3 spots up for grabs?
Yes.
And you think there's how many teams competing for those 3 spots? 5.
You've got Newcastle, City, Chelsea, Forest, Villa. Yeah.
5, yeah?
5.
On the final day of the season,
Mm-hmm.
how many are still in contention?
I think at least 4. Probably Villa will just be off at that point.
Do you think?
Yeah. What do you think?
I think 5 on the final day of the season.
You think Villa will still be involved?
Mm.
Yeah, I think the problem with them is they're 3 points behind us and Forest now, and I feel they've got like a draw or a loss in their fixtures, which would mean that they would be too far away from the pack.
You know, if we're in it to get Champions League football, I don't know whether to live stream or whether to go.
I think you should live stream, and I think we should do a big live stream.
But then if I was going to live stream, obviously we do it together.
Yeah,
I'm going to pick one of the two, and that is...
One of the two what?
One of the two. Nottingham Forest final of the season or another away day.
To live stream or to go?
To go.
Well, you're not going to the other one.
Why?
It's a long way away.
I don't care. Piss up.
And it's in Poland.
I know.
So you could have a fucking good time there.
And I could just tell the missus it's work. I'm getting paid for it, babe.
Well, yeah, and she would believe that because she doesn't watch the videos.
She don't watch YouTube.
You said that at the start.
Exactly.
I think you would have more fun if you went to Poland. I think I'm worried about what you could get up to in Poland, but because it's a good night out. It's a good night out. No, I think we should stream the last day of the season. Let us know in the comments what you'd rather us stream out of that if you had a choice.
Yeah, if you had a choice, would you rather us stream the last day of the season if mathematically it's possible for us to secure it if we beat Nottingham Forest, or would you rather us stream the final? And I know a lot of you will say both, but fucking hell, mate, I've been being good for so long. I've got to have some fun.
Are you going to go up to Nottingham then if you do that instead?
Yeah.
You go for the away day?
Yeah, if I live stream the final, I'll probably go Forest, yeah.
I'll let you know some nightclubs in Nottingham to go to. Oceana's a good one.
Yeah.
Very good
I
one.
doubt I'll stay up. I went to Forest. I went to the City Ground. I went there.
It's a good ground.
I went there and we drew 1-1. I think Raheem Sterling might have scored for us. It wasn't. It was the Potter season, but I don't know who was in charge at the time. Might have been Potter.
Might have been Bruno Salter.
No, he only had that one game, and that was against
Don't know. Tell me.
Liverpool.
Not sponsored by
Liverpool.
Coca-Cola. Oh, interesting.
It was, yeah.
How did he get on?
I think we drew 2-2. Kovacic screamer,
Legend.
and we actually
I miss Kovacic.
played really well in the
I
game.
really like Kovacic.
Yeah, I like him,
He's
but I
a good
don't
player.
miss him. Right.
Brutal.
So let's go through the starting 11. As you can see on screen right now, we have gone with Robert Sanchez in goal. I'll explain the defence in a minute, but as you can see on the graphic, Caicedo, right back. Trevor Chalobah and Levi Colwell, and then Cucurella at left back. Romeo Lavia and Enzo Fernandez in midfield. Over on the right hand side, we have gone with Noni Madueke. Have we not? No, we've gone Pedro Neto.
I would
haven't we?
prefer, if we could, to have Pedro Neto on the right.
Actually,
and
for the
Noni on
cover,
left.
for the cover, we need Pedro Neto there. Yeah, don't worry about that. We've gone with Pedro. We've gone with Pedro Neto. Cole Palmer through the middle in the number 10. Noni Madueke over on the left hand side, and obviously the main man, Nicholas Jackson, through the middle. Now, Josh, can you explain to these lot what that formation means? Because it's not going to look on the pitch how we've just shown it on the graphic.
No, when we're in possession, it will be a 3 at the back with Cucurella coming in to form the back 3, won't it? And then Caicedo will push into midfield. When we're defending, Caicedo goes into the nominal right back position, and then you've got the 4-2-3-1 shape that we have in our defensive setup. What we're seeing more than anything now really is both wingers in defence tuck in, so it looks more like a 4-4-1-1
Yeah.
in defence.
And that's why we've got the importance of having Pedro Neto over on that right wing, of being able to just get back, cover for Caicedo, because I feel like inevitably, and one man whose name will be on most of your lips right now is obviously the main man at Chelsea Football Club captain Reece James. I feel like inevitably Reece James is going to get subbed on in this match. I think that when that happens, Romeo Lavia probably comes off, right? Because it's very much a case of managing minutes at this moment in time on both of players, on both of these players' behalves. And then when that happens, I think that Pedro Neto will stay on the pitch. I believe that Pedro Neto will stay on the pitch. I think he'll probably swap over to the other side, and maybe Noni Madueke will swap, or we'll see Pedro Neto stay on that side as a little bit of cover for Reece James. Cucurella invert a little bit more into the midfield, and Jadon Sancho come on the left wing. However, would not be adverse to Tyreek George coming on at all. We'll see how things go. And, you know, if last night is anything to go by, indication-wise, you might even see Tyreek George come on for Nicholas Jackson. Who knows? But hopefully, you know, we see Jacko get as many minutes as we can here. Yeah. So general feeling, I know you said, it's the best time to play them, but you're always honest on the channel. Sometimes too honest, right?
Well, what have I been too honest about?
Certain games that you said that you think we're going to lose, or you think we're going to draw, and I've backed the boys, and we've brought home the goods.
What we'll do, Jerry, in the next episode is we'll review our predictions today, and we'll see who's got the closest in terms of points, because I think I'm closer. From when we predicted it.
We should do that at the end of the season.
We should. Okay, fine. After, because we predicted it with 10 games or 9 games to go, I think.
Yeah.
So we should look at those predictions and see who's closer.
Do you think Man United's form in the Conference League, and this is a worry for me?
Europa League.
Europa League, sorry, same thing. Do you think it's going to translate into the Premier League? Because sometimes you look at things, very blunt answer, sometimes you look at things and you're like, how can it not? Do you know what I mean?
Are you talking in relation to particularly to the Chelsea game?
Let's say, for example, I win my fight by devastating first round knockout. How can I not walk with my chin held high and carry myself with confidence? Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, that doesn't mean I might not get a pasting in sparring the next week behind closed doors in the gym.
Yeah.
Right? And this is the thing, like, Man United, I think they're winning the Conference League, by the way. And I said, the Europa League. And I said that before, didn't I?
Do you not think Spurs have a chance?
No. Spurs.
Yeah.
Mate, I don't even know if they get to the final.
Brutal. What are they, 3-1 up?
3-1 up. So only a 2-goal lead,
You're
mate.
crazy.
I don't even know if they get to the final. But who knows?
They're winning that.
And that was at home last night, wasn't it?
They're winning that game.
All right, but if they get to the final, they're not
still
beating Man
gonna bottle
United.
it. Okay,
they're
fair
not
enough.
beating Man United in the final. Ruben Amorim.
Do you think Man United are definitely in the final?
Fuck off. Of course they are. Of course they are. And speaking of Man United, you know who we'll be coming up against in the final? Probably Anthony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Betis are a good team. I know you're very confident about winning that final, but that won't be an easy game.
It's a hard game.
That
hard
won't be.
game.
That won't be an easy game.
Who would you liken them to in the Premier League? Who do you think they're as good as?
I think you're going to laugh about me when I say this, and you're going to think this is disingenuous. But I would say Brentford.
Really?
Yeah.
I know Brentford beat Forest last night.
Brentford have the potential always, and we are never that good against them. I reckon they have that potential.
I really thought you were going to go like...
Who? They're not as good as City.
I thought you were going to go like Villa or something.
They're not as good as Villa.
No, they're not. But that's where
I'm not going to... No. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. They're not that good.
Yeah.
Maybe they're... No, I'll stick to it. Brentford. I reckon.
By the way, another thing I predicted on the kickoff this week. What did I say?
Come
about the Champions League.
You thought that PSG were going to win the whole thing, didn't you?
Yeah.
They looked so good. PSG have turned such a corner, haven't they? They've got a really good young squad. They've got the manager that we should have got.
Yeah.
He would have been so good for us.
Yeah.
I think he would have been another Tommy T level of...
Can I ask you a question, right? Because obviously, if Enzo Maresca finishes 5th, this season the coefficient's going to go our way, right?
Yep.
We could finish higher, we could finish 4th, we could finish 3rd, but say he finishes 5th, right? Last season the coefficient didn't go our way, and we were led to believe that Pochettino was sacked, weren't we?
I think they actually said it was a mutual thing. To be honest with you.
Yes. Sorry, that's what they said, but we were led to believe it.
Yeah.
And when I say led to believe it, I don't specifically mean by the club. I think it was like I think that my feeling was the club are saying this, but really you fucking got rid of him because you don't like the fact he's not a yes man and whatever, and whatever. And he is a bit of a yes man, but he probably said to them, look, few things. I want Trevor Chalobah here. I want Conor Gallagher here, and I want a few senior players. And he had 2 meetings, 2 dinners, right? First dinner with Bowley, lovely.
Went really well.
Yeah. As soon as he meets Egg Barley,
he's gone. I reckon. I wonder if Egg Barley said to him, "You're gone" at that meeting. Must have.
Well, my theory on it as things go on is that I think that he thought, do you know what? I ain't even that bothered. And it was quite mutual.
I think he learned that they were definitely going to sell Conor Gallagher because they had to for PSR reasons.
Yeah.
And I feel that they heard that the Trevor situation was going to be a loan deal. They were going to try and sell him, but he was going. And I reckon he just said, like, to be honest with you, I can't be arsed.
I think it's a dignity thing. Dignity thing because I think that there's certain managers in football who have the power or would feel like they have the power to go, right, this is my target. I want you to go out and sign him. I want you to go out and get this player, right? But I think there's certain managers in football who are a level below that in terms of their standing within the game, Pochettino being included in this, no disrespect, who maybe can't command you to go and get a player, but they can have the status in the game to deny you selling a player. Do you believe so?
Well, I feel like he hasn't been able to deny them selling a player.
But I feel like he felt he was in that bracket.
Okay.
And I feel like that's why I think that when they say mutual,
Yeah.
it was more a thing of meeting went well with Bowley.
Yep.
meeting didn't go well with Egbali.
Yeah.
He's looking at things and going, we're not really on the same page here at boardroom level and director level and ownership level and whatnot. Maybe it's best that I don't. But what I was going to say anyway is the coefficient didn't go away last season. We finished 5th. If, right,
Did we finish 6th last season or 5th?
No, Spurs finished 5th. We
Yeah,
finished
finished
6th.
6th.
One point off, I think, or one win off,
yeah.
whatever. If we were to finish 5th, we were to win the Conference League, are there any questions within the club, firstly, about the status of our manager next season, Enzo Maresca?
I feel there's
Within the club.
I feel there's questions. I feel that there's sort of stuff to discuss, but I don't think there's any rationale internally to say that he'll get sacked. No. I don't think there would be. Do you?
I only asked because we didn't see it coming with Pochettino, did we?
No, but that's I think it's a different story. They've given him a long old contract. I feel like they see it as a manager that will grow into his role, and I feel that they'll see the signs being good, and they just need some players to come in to improve the squad.
Okay, how about this?
Yeah.
Earlier on in the season, we saw fans singing, "We've got our Chelsea back. We've got our Chelsea
Rewind
back."
that time. I'd love to be back there.
Then we've also seen fans booing Enzo Maresca as he honourably still walks over after defeat and claps the away fans and stuff like that, right? So I would say that the tide has turned in a way. Match-going fans, I would say, are fairly more neutral, although this would more lean towards a negative way in terms of, like, let's say, for example, you're watching a movie, yeah? It's not enthralling.
What kind of movie?
Porn, knowing you. Nah, I'm only joking. Is enthralling a word?
Yeah.
It's not enthralling, yeah? But it's not, awful. So you're not going to turn the channel off, but you're not laughing out loud.
Analogy.
But you're not laughing out loud.
I like the analogy.
Yeah. So what do?
Just carry on.
Kind of just sit in silence, didn't you?
Yeah.
And that's
But you're not enjoying it.
That's a little bit like what the home atmosphere has been like recently, right? No disrespect at all. The away atmosphere has been great. I thought the away at Fulham, all you could hear was our fans. I thought they were brilliant. I think the away fans are always brilliant, to be honest. But again, I want to swing the question to you one more time. If we were to finish 5th, win the Conference League, and let's say we were to get over the line by what some people would class as slightly lucky circumstances. Now, already, right? Already, a lot of people, as much as, you've just stated that you rate Brentford, a lot of people would have made Nottingham Forest favourites against Brentford last night, right? Let's say, for example, Nottingham Forest, I think they've still got to play one of the relegated teams. I think it might be...
They've got to play Leicester.
Leicester. Let's say Leicester beat Nottingham Forest, right?
Yeah,
I think quite a few people would say that's quite lucky, right? Yeah. Man City, they've got a really easy run in. Let's say they lost one or two of their games. So
lose to Wolves.
I'm just playing a hypothetical here. If we got over the line in circumstances that some might say were slightly lucky, and then we won the Conference League, do you think there would be a clamour from fans to have Enzo Maresca replaced, or do you think the fan base would be happy to go, right, that's it, you've guided us through the first season, it looked great, then it looked shit, then it looked average, but we had done enough when it looked great to actually get us over the line, as I've always said, right? Do you think fans would be positive about Enzo Maresca staying?
You know what we do? We do like a report card at the end of the season. I think basically this is what the director of football review is. The minimum expectation, the pass mark, the C level, if you want to talk about it in grades, right, is Champions League and winning the Conference League.
Correct.
Right? So if he gets 5th, in any circumstance, I don't think the circumstances particularly matter, to be honest with you. If he gets 5th, and you get the Conference League win, he's passed, he gets to go into the new year. He's probably under a little bit of pressure in the new year, depending on, i.e. how the Club World Cup goes. Like, if he goes and wins the Club World Cup, he's fine. He won't be under any pressure, I don't think. And he'll go into next season with the full backing of the board. But there's a lot of if and or buts or maybes on this, because if he doesn't win the Conference League, I think, again, that's seen as a huge failure, a huge waste of time. So I think that could be a problem for him. If he doesn't win the Conference League and he doesn't get Champions League football, he will be sacked. And I'll make it that clear. If we finish 6th and we lose the Conference League final, and again, if he doesn't perform very well in the Club World Cup, because he'll probably remain for that, then absolutely he could be sacked. This is why it's so funny. He's got, he keeps going on about cup finals. We've got 6 cup finals. I call it 5 cup finals now because I don't think the second leg is a huge cup final in the Conference League. If he doesn't turn up for those cup finals and we go out of the end of the season and it is a whimper, then he's going to be under immense trouble. And this is the duality of the season, mate, because we could end this incredibly well. We beat Liverpool. We beat one of Newcastle and Forest, right? We end up with, 9 points out of the next 12, right? And if we do that and win the Conference League and we get quite far in the Club World Cup, imagine we get to the final of that.
Yeah.
Then quite frankly, the pressure isn't on him at all. So now it's all performance based. He's got to do, and I think he knows that.
Yeah,
I think he knows it. And to be fair, the season should be judged on what happens in the next 6 games.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
I'd say so. Yeah, I'd say so. I've always said from the start the season should be judged as a whole. I'm not really in favour of mid-season sackings of managers and stuff like that.
Can I ask you one hypothetical? If we finished 4th and we don't win the Conference League, do you think he's under pressure? Like, it's better than we expected in the league.
He's under more pressure than he would be if we did win the Conference League, but I wouldn't sack him, no. No. That, to be honest, look, I want to win the Conference League. I think that the comments that Enzo Maresca made about the Conference League will be scoffed at by many and used as an example of how our standards have fallen and different things like that. But at the same time, I'm like, well, hold on. Like, look at the crop of players, right, that came out of the Chelsea Youth Academy that pretty much clean swept for about 5 years from like under 13s to under 18s or whatever and won everything. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying they all went on to be world beaters, but I had a friend that played for Fulham until he was 18. He played in friendly matches alongside the likes of Damien Duff and Danny Murphy and people like that and whatever. Never made a competitive appearance for him. I've had loads of friends that have played for academies, like, friends that have played against Raheem Sterling for academies and whatnot. I'm sure you've had friends that have played for academies. And the point I'm trying to make here is 99% of them don't make it as footballers. Right? Mm-hmm. Okay? So, when you look at that academy side that had the likes of Ruben Loftus-Cheek in it,
Tomori.
Right? That had the likes of Tomori in it, that had the likes of Grahi in it, that had the likes of Dominic Solanke in
Livramento.
it. Yeah.
Lewis Hall.
Well, Livramento and Lewis Hall wouldn't have been that age group. The age group I'm on about. But it would have probably had the likes of like a Josh McEachran in there as well. Izzy Brown. There's somewhere missing that I'm not thinking of.
Jade De Silva, the left back, he was quite good.
The Tam Dog. Tammy
was in that team. Yeah.
Tammy, I'm pretty sure, was in that team.
No, Tammy absolutely was in that team.
He was, yeah. So what I'm saying, Mason Mount was probably in that team. He might have been a little bit younger, just about.
But he would
have been mixing around that group.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is they were littered with trophies, weren't they, at academy level?
They won everything. Over several years.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, right? And do I think that majorly contributed towards the fact that the vast majority of these players that we've just named, I know you can pick a few out there, Izzy Brown, Josh McEachran, whatever, but the vast majority of these players that we just named have gone on to at least, they might not be at this very second in time, but at least be playing Champions League football. Some of them have gone on to win Champions Leagues, right?
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. So, do I think that contributed towards that? Yes, I completely do. So do I think with a team that is the youngest team in the Premier League, if we were to go and win the Conference League, it would be a good thing for us that would install a mentality that so far under this ownership has not been there? Of course I would. Of course I would. So will I be as happy as when we beat Bayern Munich? No, I won't be, right? Will I be as happy as when we beat Man City? No, I won't be. Will I be as happy as when we beat Arsenal in, was it Baku, right? No, I won't be. But that's only because it's Arsenal.
That was good, though.
But that was good.
That was a good game.
That was good. But I'll be as happy as the other Europa League final.
Oh, wow, okay, you're putting it that high.
I'm putting it that high, yeah.
Can I ask you one follow-up question then, because you mentioned Arsenal? If we finish 5th and we win the Conference League, have we had a better season than Arsenal?
Yeah. Only if they don't win the Champions League.
What about if Man United win the Europa League and finish 16th? Have they had a better season than Arsenal?
Yeah.
What about Spurs if they finish 17th?
All right. Look, can I just say...
It's true, though, by the way.
Can I just say, I'm not making the comparison. Right? But have you ever seen Saliba do what Harry Maguire did last night?
I've always said he was a better player.
I've always said
he's a better player.
Right, Josh, let's get a score prediction from you for this game.
I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw.
I knew you were going to go for a 1-1 draw. And I, my friend, am going to go for a cheeky little 1-0 Chelsea win. Yeah.
Are you think low scoring? You don't think they're going to score against us?
Nah. Got no firepower, mate. Plus, out of respect, Mo Salah wouldn't score against his former club.
Has he celebrated against us?
Yeah.
I think he has.
Yeah.
That's a shame. He shouldn't be celebrating for all the good times he had with Chelsea.
What, that one goal against Arsenal in a 6-1 thrashing?
No, I'm talking about the one that he kicked off the side of the pitch.
Yeah, there you go. Right, people, we will see you all in the next one.